This isn't your typical DC tour.
Bikes, beers, and a little history.
Sign me up.
Welcome to LocktoberfestDC, one of the district's newest free tours you've probably never heard of, with an Oktoberfest party at the end. Whew. This walking or biking experience, which only happens once a year at the beginning of the fall season, focuses on the history of DC's canals. You know, those little narrow waterways you see around town.
This was the superhighway system of the early 1800s.
Right along the route of some of DC's earliest historic waterways, like the C&O Canal or the Washington City Canal, exploring what it was like when these were the main ways to get around the city.
I learned a lot.
I didn't really know what to expect going in, but riding past some of DC's most iconic spots like the Capitol and the White House during golden hour while taking in a different side of the city you don't normally get to see was honestly kind of magical.
What's been your favorite part so far?
I think the stories.
Disclaimer, you will log some serious miles on a bike. Kinda wish I had read that in the fine print.
I've officially been left behind. I'm sweating, but we're having a blast.
It's probably easier to keep up if you aren't filming and biking at the same time.
We have to remark on that you have bikes on you came prepared.
I did.
Oktoberfest founder Tom Hazer says he started this tour in conjunction with the National Park Service where he volunteers, adding he was inspired learning about DC's old lock keepers, the workers who guarded the gates boats passed through every day in the 1800s.
So I became more and more curious about the canals themselves that the lock keepers supported and the people who built and used this incredible infrastructure at a unique time in the history of Washington, D.C.
Did you know it took a full week to get from Cumberland, Maryland to Navy Yard by boat back in the day? That's just one of the cool, obscure history facts I learned along the way.
So the Washington City Canal Company had to raise money. How'd they do it? They did it the old-fashioned American way. They sold lottery tickets.
The feature attraction of the tour, the Lock Keeper's House next to the Washington Monument, used to be a waterfront property, as our bonus tour guides Scott and Karen explained.
If you go right outside that door, you'll see Constitution Avenue, one of the busiest streets in the entire city. That was the Washington City Canal. You wouldn't have seen cars, you would have seen boats.
I can't imagine water here.
I never learned so much.
And I could go on about the reward I got for biking from Navy Yard to DuPont at South House Beer Hall, which is also a part of the tour, by the way, but I'll let you experience that one instead.
It's free, so sign up. Take an hour, 2 hours out of your life to learn about the city that you live in.
Oktoberfest is coming up fast on September 28th, so sign up while you still can.
Well, Tom, we learned something. We had fun.
And now it's time to drink some beer.
I can get behind that. Come check out the tour here out in front of the Lock Keeper's House in downtown DC with Tom. I'm Matt Kaufax, WTOP News.
For more stories like this, download and listen to WTOP Radio on our app or tune in to 103.5 FM.